Yes guys, welcome from me, the long awaited next update on the football customised database of CM0102 with all the predictions gang. Okay, so I'm going to be really honest here, I've been feeling like shit, right? So what I did last night is I left it holidaying, but I knew if I did it overnight it would do more than a season. So this is where this is where we're going to see a big change of your player's character from when you last saw it, because we are at the start of season 8. I say start of season 8, we've just kicked in season 8 because I've waited until after the transfer deadline. And I woke up this morning and I thought, shit, I left it holidaying, and I thought, shit, I wonder how far we're at. So right, here we go. So yeah, I resigned. For some reason I got given the job, Bogner, as my player. So we are at season 8. So are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? Don't worry about that. Okay, here we go. The highest value person, the new highest value player is Eben. We'll start with him. Eben, look at that 25 finishing. He's not broken into the Nigerian senior squad yet, but he has made it into the under-21s. He's worth £14 million. And Eben has moved around. We knew he started in Tunisia. He was there for a few years before Los Angeles, Vancouver, and now LAFC, who are also part of the United States. He needs to get his arse into the top flight, or one of the main leagues at least. Ian Williams. Now, you've got to look at Ian Williams, right? Look at that heading. 32. That is crazy. Just remember, right, these guys are still only 23 years of age, so they've not even peaked yet. But Ian is at Middlesbrough. He started at Palace. He was there for several years. Had a good couple of seasons, as you can see, back in 26, 27 and the following year. But I think he's one of the highest paid people as well, Ian. We'll check that in a moment, 50 grand. Okay, the third highest value person is Tobias. Tobias has broke into the Sweden squad, as you can see there. We've got a little bit of banter with that he'll win something with Sweden, but he is there as 4 caps for Sweden. Let's just see, Tobias, where is he? What position is he? He's a midfield right. It's just... Oh, he's not in the current setup, but he has got four caps. And look at his decisions. He looks the bollocks. And you can see, well, look at that. Look at that for a move. £27 million Tobias moved for, from Atalanta to Roma. So, well done there. Sam Wheatley, £10 million. He's at decisions again. He's high there, and he's also at LAFC. Well, he always was there, shall I say? And you can see it says 24-25. Now, what that means is he played no games whatsoever, senior, non-competitive in the first few years, but he's starting to get a bit of a run of games now. But the problem is it's a non-playable league, America. I probably should have had it opened, in all honesty, but I mean, you can tell he's got the value. He is only backup, so he could leave, you never know. On to the next one, Matt Tierney. Now Matt Tierney, he looked real potential, you know, but I mean, he's not bad at all, to be honest with you. And he's only just made his move over to Aston Villa after several years at Cardiff. We knew he was at Darlington. So £4.2 million. Matt Tierney is going to break for the England squad, I think. 35 grand a week. He looks like your modern day Steven Gerrard. Okay, on to Adam Bush, Vancouver. So again, you know, the MLS it is really massive. Adam Bush. Well, look at that. Well, Adam Bush started at Roma, went to Man United, then went to the States. As you can see, big move there to Vancouver. Vancouver spent a few quid there, but didn't break in at Man United whatsoever for 3 whole years. But look at that, right? Look at these non-competitive games. 796. Now, they're obviously non-competitive, but they are genuine. 20 goals. Why the fuck did Man U not give him a game? That is outrageous. Okay, on to Jamie Baxter. 6 caps for Scotland. He looks the bollocks, don't he? He wants first team football. I think he was at Wolves before, weren't he? He needs to leave Wolves. I mean, we had this discussion. He obviously, as you can see, first couple of seasons had fuck all, but hasn't really performed. So we'll see how Jamie gets on. Chris Thomas at Wigan, looking good so far. Chris Thomas started out at Wimbledon. You see, had a move to Villa and Wigan, maybe a downward spiral, but you never know. Michael Page, you know, look at that dribbling, 25. He did well. Last time we knew, he was at Leicester, a loan spell at Barnsley, not very successful. Rotherham loan spell, not very successful. And he is now at Sheffield Wednesday. He'll be very very disappointed with that. Liam Mcshane, of course, let's remember that he was started as a highest value player when we all got our first club. And he started out as Norwich, as you can see. But there you go, £8.75 million move to Newcastle United. He has been capped at England in the 21s. Still has a big future ahead of him. On to Daniel Osbourne. Yeah, Daniel, not looking great. Step it up. You've got a couple of years to get into your peak. But a £13 million move to stay within France. So, you never know. He's not done too bad, in all fairness. Still needs a little bit of work, though. Pete Rudd. So we spoke about Pete Rudd. He got his dream move to Leicester. He got to finally leave Scunthorpe, but it hasn't really been successful. I mean, a good loan spell at Stoke last season, but he is transfer listed by request. Padraig, well, he was at Juventus, weren't he, last time we knew? And he also picked up that he now speaks Italian. There you can see he's also homesick, and he left Juventus on a Bosman to go to Inter Milan. So Padraig, right, you got that dream move initially, and I was thinking, you know, it's probably better to not get the dream move, because that's the results. But you never know. I mean, he is developing into quite a class goalkeeper. 8 caps at Ireland. So, you know, I don't know, it's a tough one really, but look at that. He's got some really good attributes for a jumping could do. You could grow a little bit, Padraig, if you could. On to the next one, Shane Cousins. Look at that, anticipation, decisions. It just shows that these big attributes don't mean jack shit really, because you can see Shane, he was in Turkey, he moved to Charlton, and he's just never really been a performer. But still a long way to go. Lee Sylvester, look at that, still at Derby, picking up his paycheck, which is now, as you can see, just under 20 grand a week, and still does fuck all. Yeah, he's been at Derby all his life, and he's not even unhappy. He is loan listed. Lazy cunt. Paul Roberts at Southampton doesn't look really that thrilling. Went to Southampton from Hull, so needs to do something special, I feel. Paul Roberts. Daniel Young. He's got a decision. Decisions seems to be a real attribute that increases. Into Miami, another American-based move. And then you can see he's not done great. I mean, a Bosman at Wolves didn't really make it at Wolves. Daniel Young. On to the next one. Peter now. Peter. You can see he's made the move. I mean, he still is a dog's bollocks. There's no doubt about that. But he's in Portugal. And there you see, he actually made another 2 moves. He went to Brighton for 24.5 million and Porto for 14.5 million. But if you look at his season, last season for Porto, 27 starts. In all, let's just see if that was all starts. 25, 17 goals, had a great season. And as you can see, look at his international perspective. 29 caps with the Australian national squad, 10 goals for Peter. Daz Jones, the creativity has now reached 28. His passing's got up to 21. And look at him so far on 7 games. Well, he finally got his wish. He's out of Swansea after a loan spell at Kings Lynn. And if the first 7 games are anything to go by the new season, then he'll be happy. 7 games, 3 assists, looking good, Daz. Is it time as you break into the Welsh under-21s? Who knows what's next? Michael Humphreys, aka Mick, still a bad boy Millwall player. After his contract run down at Fiorentina, needs to do something special. Mick needs to do something special. Chris Henson, same with you. You're over at Nashville. Again, it's not a true reflection. You should have just stayed at Gloucester. Vancouver, Nashville. So there we are with Chris Henson. On to Dan Hanshaw. Dan Hanshaw, mediocre, it would be fair to say. He's got a bit of value, 4 million. He's not needed, so he's probably going to leave come the January window, I would imagine. Remember, Dan Hanshaw went to my local team, Peterborough, before he somehow got a move to Southampton. But he's one senior game in 7 seasons. Dan, you should be ashamed of yourself. Page 3 then, on to Mark Whitaker. Still, again, he's transfer listed by request. He looks the real dog's bollocks, Mark Whitaker. But his contract run down at Union, and he is at Fulham. He just needs to have a good season, and you never know. He might do it. He could do it. Mark Bonney, loan listed at the moment at Inter Miami. Yet another. I told you I feel like shit. Yet another player over in America. Made the move from Fleetwood. There's no looking back now, Mark. Get your ass back across that pond. Steve Hall. Remember we said he was probably amongst our players of the season 1 or 2, but he looks to have really died down. So he's now moved over into, he's still in France. He started at Fulham. I'm assuming, yeah, he can speak French now. Well done, Steve, learning the lingo. On to Morton. Morton is playing for Anderlecht. He's got some relatively good figures there. So he's been around the block. Yeah, he's been around the block. I think it was Belgium, weren't it? Is that who it was? Belgium? Yeah. So that's Morton. Philip Stewart, the Rangers striker, has never really made it. I've got Scotland open, let me remind you. So they are a true reflection, but I mean, clearly he's signed a new. He's not wanted. He's signed a new deal, but he's not wanted. So he's unhappy. On to myself now. Right, I didn't even know this, if I'm truly honest with you. But I was at Spurs originally. So you can see I moved, for fuck's sake. So a loan spell at Coventry, a free transfer to Charlton, and now I'm on loan at fucking Swansea. Give me a fucking break. Look at that, what a shower of shit. On to Pepe Page, Aston Villa goalkeeper. I think he's been there virtually, no, it was Southampton, weren't it? And Scunthorpe, he had, look at that, 43 games at Scunthorpe a few seasons ago, 82 conceded. That is fucking atrocious, Pep. And then a free transfer to Aston Villa. Let's just have a quick look. Aston Villa are in the top flight still. On to G. John Davies, Welsh goalkeeper, under 21, I think he was before, wasn't he? And he is at Cardiff. After a Forest, there you go. Look at that, awful time at Forest. On to Thomas Tunnicliffe, another goalkeeper. Another goalkeeper, 2.5 million. Yeah, it's Crystal Palace all his life. Panos, still playing in Romania, but he's broken to the Greek under-21s. Will he get that move? Will he get it? Justin, loan listed at Leicester City as their goalkeeper after his move from Sampdoria, a loan spell at Motherwell, which didn't turn out too well for him, did it? On to page 4, I need to speed this up a little bit, guys. Carl Rhodes, a left back looking solid. He's at Columbus, another one over the pond after his move from Middlesbrough. Not done too great. Jay Geneva looks the bollocks. Maybe his position's a bit shit, but he does look good indeed. He's at Millwall with the Rough Boys. Matty Price was is he the one that started off injured? He's the one that started with a big contract. I'm sure it was Matty Price. I'll have to check back. But if that is the case, look at that. That's gone down, isn't it? So he's at Palace after a Preston move. Not really done too great, Matty Price. William Anderson, currently on loan at Salamanca from Getafe. Has had a couple of loan spells since his move to Getafe. Wasn't too bad there. Did very well, to be fair, William. So credit where it's due. On to the next one, Paul Ogden. There is a bid in for Paul Ogden, and we can only assume that is from West Bromwich Albion. And he needs it, really. I mean, he didn't do too bad at Leyton Orient, but he needs to do something special, Paul Ogden. On to Adam Rowland, who's currently on loan from Rennes at this French side, Dunkerque. Is that how you pronounce it? But Adam Rowland needs to get his arse in gear. He's unhappy, and I'm assuming Adam can speak French. Yes, he can. On to Jeff Cowell. Jeff Cowell, still a Hammers boy. Come on, Jeff, you're better than that. You're better than that. It feels you should be a first team regular. £26,500 a week, Jeff. Sort it out, fuck's sake. Stu Murtagh, still at Rotherham. Everyone's daughters are still locked up while Stu Murtagh is still a Rotherham player. Not a great career, I think it would be fair to say. Ellie Stevkov, he's broken to the Macedonian seniors. 6 caps for him, but he's now playing at Ajax. Good move for him, but as you can probably just see, he is homesick. He wants first team football. He's very unhappy. Baz Chambers, he got his move to Stoke, and he is still at Stoke, but he's just not doing it, is he? You would believe, right, these guys have a potential ability of 175 to 200. But I would imagine the next 5 years are going to be crucial as they all really hit to their peak. Trevor Choi, Bologna. We know he got a delayed move to Sheffield United. Bologna has not done great, Trevor Choi. And he's broken into the Hong Kong squad. 10 caps, 1 goal for our very famous Chinese salesman. Roxy Brown is a midfield left at Preston. It's not really worked out as she wanted. She's done, to be blunt, pretty shit. Kevin Gilmartin, the right back, Burnley, never really done it as he's been quite poor. Paul Adams, same with him, Brighton, he is loan listed, wants first team football, never really done it. Ashley looks a bees, but yeah, he's not really, he's barely played, hasn't he, Ashley? Mark Brown, Sheffield Wednesday, I think he had his move, yeah, he's been there all his life. Mediocre, he's had a couple of games to be fair, Mark Brown. Mark Rutgers, yes, the spelling's still incorrect, fuck you. Mark Rutgers has been around the block, but still needs to step it up. Derek Robertson, Forest Green, mate, how did you get to Forest Green from Swansea, for fuck's sake? Last time I knew you were on loan at Alloa. So Derek Robertson is there. Tim Edwards, again, probably a positional issue here, but he looks really good, Tim Edwards. He's at Norwich, just needs a good run of games. Ross Horn, look at them long shots for a defensive midfielder. He's on loan from Atlanta United, which I vaguely recall. So he's not done too bad, Ross Horn. On to George Wills. Remember we said player of the season, season 1 or 2, along with Steve Hart, George Wills. But it's never really repeated that sort of feat. So he's been around the block a bit more. A loan spell at Notts County move, Wednesday, Sunderland. Yeah, he's been around. Okay, Shane Wright. Shane Wright is still playing in the Saudi Arabia. Now the problem is, just look at his tackling. He looks an absolute monster. And as you can see, 6 caps for Bangladesh. Shane Wright is not from Bangladesh. He just chose Bangladesh. Same with Michael Clarkson. What about that in a moment? On to page 6, we're almost there, guys. John Pickett, loan listed at QPR. John, sort it out. You're looking shocking. Rob Lloyd requested transfer request. He's at Wrexham. Rob Lloyd, mate, come on. Matt Meikle is at Hibernian. I vaguely remember him going to Hibernian. I think I saw it at some point. But you, mate, you are fucking, you disgust me. Andy Lowe, mate, you are shitter than shit. But you are at Carlisle, and I would say you're getting games, but you're not. So sort it out, Andy. John McGrath is currently on loan at, are they Belgium? They've got to be Belgium, haven't they? Yeah, they're Belgium. On loan from Union. He had a loan spell, had a very good loan spell at Lamel. But since then, John, you've done shit, to put it blunt. Under 21 international, or was, shall I say, for Ireland. Okay, on to Dave. Dave has moved to Nice. I think I read that he was being tracked by them, and he was homesick. He is still homesick. Never fucking happy, is he? But he's not done too bad, in all fairness. Since he moved to Nice, as you can see, although he's not had many games, he has done well. Give him credit. It's not true what to say about you, Dave. Philippe is at Porto. Brazil under 21. Philippe is Brazilian, and he's not done bad. I would like to see him do better. On to Michael Clarkson, who is an English Cameroonian international. Michael Clarkson is capped at under 21s for Cameroon. Well done. But judging by that value, mate, look at that. Do you know what? I would retire you now, Michael Clarkson, if I thought it was fair. In fact, I think it is fair. John Chambers, who is clearly English, but I knew wanted to be Italian. And he's still doing shit. No, he ain't doing too bad, actually. He just needs a big move. He's got a release clause. He's got pace. But Johnny needs to do something special. Wayne Chester. Oh, my God. We've just found our shittiest star. Wayne Chester, who is at Yeovil, has been there all his life. Wayne, I would buy myself out my own contract. Right? I'd take a loan out and just fucking put yourself out there, and Peterborough United will snap you up. Okay. Brian Lacey, giving Wayne Chester a run for his money, because you look pretty shocking as well. You're over at Detroit. Yeah, nothing worth screaming about. And finally, Matt King. Matt King has certainly got the finishing, but he's listed for loan, and it just goes back to not being given a fair crack. Luke Langley, probably a contender for one of the shittiest. He's still at Eastbourne. He has had a new contract because he's on a little bit more money. And Eastbourne no, they're not in playable leagues. So Luke, I don't know, Luke. What can you say? And finally, Ashton Clare. Ashton Clare has been released to his contract, or his contract came to an end and they didn't renew it. He is now officially with the scrap heap. After Forest Green and Middlesbrough, Ashton is available on a free transfer. Okay, so let's have a look now then at the highest value. The highest earner is Ian Williams, 50 grand a week, followed by Shane Cousins, and as you can see, followed by Peter. Let's have a look now then at so far this season. We can get a true reflection on this season. Wayne Chester, Yeovil. If Yeovil, Wayne Chester's had a good run so far. So 8-0 in 5 games. Luke Langley, can't really count that because it's not playable. Shane Wright, not playable. Adam Bush, no, can't count that, not at Vancouver. Eburn, can't count that. Daz Jones, I do count Daz Jones, we mentioned him earlier on. I'm looking here at appearances and the average rating. Morton's had 1 game at Anderlecht and he's got an 8, but it's a case of having more games. And finally, the very last thing we are going to look at very, very, very quickly. Let's take a look, just in case anybody got any of these. No, that weren't what I wanted, was it? That weren't what I wanted at all. Let's just take a look at any awards. Did anybody win it? I very, very unlikely, I know, but I think it's definitely worth looking. If your phone is still getting them, prick. Now, where else can I've got to remember. I've got to think to myself. I've got to think to myself where I can get these international awards. Right. Okay. So let's have a look at these awards. That's what I'm looking for. There you go. That's what I was looking for. And he has won it 4 times. Peter Trinner. Fuck me. I did not see that coming. So he won it in season 3. He won it in season 4. He won it in season 5. And he's won it in season 7. Peter is the Oceania Footballer of the Year. Give that guy a round of applause. That is crazy. No one of interest there for us. No one of interest. African even, mate. Oh no, Mo Salah's dominated. Look at that. Ain't that bot? Oh, he's retired now. Mo Salah's won it for like 7 seasons running, but he looked like he just retired. And he clearly won it at Barcelona. No. Let's see what Mbappe looks like. Look at that. The dog's bollocks. And finally, the Ballon d'Or. Right. Okay, so that is that. Now, before I go, guys, there is one more player I'm going to have a look at. This guy is in the predictions. Now, do any of you know who I'm going to go to? Okay. This is going to be a little bit of a surprise. Louis Spinks. Where is he? Louis Spinks. He is in the predictions. He's not on Facebook. I get his scores via a third party, who was via Matt Tierney. So Louis Spinks is on the game already, for those of you that don't know. And why don't I just write his fucking name in? What a fucking idiot. What kind of fucking idiot am I? There he is. Oh, right, okay, so there is Louis Spinks. I believe he was English/Scottish. Yeah, he was. So he's clearly broken to the Scotland under 21s. And Louis Spinks is on Instagram for anyone wishing to know. But just to keep a close eye on him, I think I should add him to our list, really, to the short list, I think. I forgot to add him, to be honest with you. So theoretically, there's 70 of us. So that is Louis Spinks. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, it's fuck off from me.